Hi, my name is Matt Oliva. I am 19 years old and I am a first year student at the Georgia Institute of Technology. I am a completely healthy young adult. Apparently, I'm also an adult now, but it wasn't always that way for me. My freshman year of high school, I started playing football, and I figured that I loved watching the sport so much, I'd have just as much fun playing it too. And I was right. We didn't win many games, or any games for that matter, but my freshman season was fun and featured no injuries. But a few weeks after the season started, I started getting migraines. The first one was pain I had never experienced before. It was nothing like a daily headache. It began with a visual aura that clouded the left side of my vision. The best way to describe it is when you look at the sun or a bright light for too long, and then look away and the sun still appears to be there. The aura would fade and turn into shooting pains that pulsed across my head. Any movement, noise, or light would amplify the pain to unbearable heights. I would have to lock myself in a dark room with nothing that would cause pain. A migraine would knock me out for an entire day and have lingering effects into the next day. We thought it wasn't a major issue until they started happening more frequently. Every month or so, I would be out of commission for an entire day. Naturally, our first response was to blame the introduction of football into my life. This was a fair assessment considering the reputation of football and the newly released movie Concussion. We were pretty spooked, especially my mother. So we went to several doctors and I even got a CAT scan on my brain. That was not a very fun medical bill. But they all found nothing. No physical evidence of these migraines that were taking out large chunks of my life. We all felt sort of defeated. Except one day my mom was talking on the phone, and I wasn't paying attention, of course, when she put her hand over the microphone at the bottom of the phone, looked at me and said, "Have you ever heard of aspartame?" Aspartame is one of the most commonly used artificial sweeteners. In fact, it is the most popular in the United States. You might be surprised to find out that aspartame is made from the feces of genetically modified E. coli bacteria. Sounds pretty yummy. It is 200 times sweeter than sugar and is the first choice in many drinks like Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi. Many people think they are doing themselves a favor by drinking diet drinks. But many studies found a slight positive correlation in body mass index and waist size with aspartame consumption. Aspartame can be linked to cancer, depression, dizziness, seizures, and yes, migraines. Yet the sweetener is approved by the FDA, the World Health Organization, United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, and the American Heart Association. The call that my mother was on was a call with my aunt, who suggested I cut aspartame out of my diet because she did the same thing and it mitigated her headaches. I had no idea what aspartame was or even if I was eating it, but I was almost addicted to this 0-calorie diet mango tea. It was 0 calories, so I drank it like water. Aspartame was the fourth ingredient. I cut aspartame completely out of my diet, and I have had a total of 1 migraine since that day. Now, as a qualifier for this anecdotal treatment of mine, I'm not saying that aspartame is an evil ingredient that is slowly killing us all, because many studies have been inconclusive and have recorded little to no correlation between aspartame and many of its reported side effects. But here's what I am saying. Pay attention to what you're putting into your body. Each and every one of us eats and drinks on a daily basis, and rarely do we stop to think about where it came from. So be informed. Read labels. But most of the time, labels fail to tell the whole story, which benefits the food industry because the less the consumer knows, the more those people become blind consumers. Yes, labels provide a list of ingredients, but often not where these ingredients came from, what they're made of, and how they've reached your plate or glass. So do research. Take a look at what you're eating if your health takes a turn for the worst. I would have never thought a tiny ingredient in a bottle of tea that I was drinking would cause me such pain. But stop being a blind consumer like I certainly was, and figure out what you're eating and what it could be doing to you and your health. Thank you.